Hello and welcome back to Anime-chan, where today we're going to be watching my reaction highlights of episode 306 of Fairy Tail. It was called Winter Wizard. I'm really excited to share the reaction highlights and then the review with you all, but before I do that, I just want to say a big thank you to Emmett Starling for being a level 5 patron. As a level 5 patron, you do get to request an anime for me to react to, and the one that Emmett has chosen is Tokyo Ghoul. So I will be starting with that on the 3rd of May. I'm not sure yet if I'll be posting reaction highlights on YouTube with a review, because I'm not sure how strict the copyright for Tokyo Ghoul is, but I'll do a little bit of research, see how some other YouTubers did it, and also try and avoid spoilers in the process. So yeah, I just wanted to give a special thank you to Emmett and let you know that your anime request is on its way. And then without further ado, let's watch the reaction highlights. Yo! Damn, Kana. Aww. Aww. Small fry, you say. Oh, Romeo. Oh, sad piece. Well, that worked for a moment. Damn, did she shoulder him? I mean, elbow him? Like, bah! Wow! Territory.
みんな無事だったか。ユキノ、頼めるか。はい。みんな自分のギルドのためじゃないのに偉いぞ。なんだこのブリブリしたものは。いや、その。
Oh, Romeo.
負けられねえぞ。この先の陛下のもとには行かせんぞ。一点だ。
A punch. Susume! Can you just change into another outfit that's not a cow? Please. Susume. Smile, even if it's fake. Oh, my bubble.
詩的に表現すれば心を氷に閉じ込めるといったところか。
分離エンチャントはまだかかるのかい？
この子の中にあるのが普通の魔法じゃないことはご存知でしょ？
あまり苦しむ姿は見たくない。
I want them to be together happily forever.
見ての通り、今は
エルザ様を見つけました。敵対しているとはいえ、エルザ様は
殺せ。私に同じことを二度言わせるか。そなたの誠は何者か。
私は
Is he one of those personalities created by Irene? And if so, then fuck. She is fucking strong. But I mean, she's the most powerful female wizard. I hope Evza kicks her mom's ass. Suzuki! Whoa! Whoa! Fire, 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 fire! You can't freeze Grey though. Yes. He's been trained, bitch. Oh, Winter Wizard. Oh, fuck, come on, Grey. What does that mean? You are ice? Oh. I get it.
まるで子供の積み木容易に壊せだったらこの力はどうだ ELD を倒す力だヒューマゼロのタッチ
Yes
正常な思考ではいられなくなる興味深い
You can trap your mind. Don't do that to him. No, Grey. You want to make him a nakama?
あなたの心は闇に染まりかけている。ああ、闇とは人の誰しもが持つ強大な力。あなたの闇は解放されかけている。くだらねえこと言ってんじゃねえ。こっちだって鼻から正義の味方ごっこしてんじゃねえんだ。よく言ったグレイ。それがフェアリーテイルだ。氷が溶けた。暑い、寒い。これで形勢逆転よ。私たちが力を合わせれば。
Is it Brandish?
ルシー、ハッピー。なあ。
ブランディッシュ。黙れ。
She's helping them.
待ちやがれ。
グレイ様。
Oh fuck! No, it's the mind magic.
ジュビア、なんだこれ。頭がクラクラする。
体が思うように動かない。
アイスロック。人の心を閉じ込め、これから殺し合う。自分の意志とは関係なく。なんだと？どちらかが死ぬまでその鎖は外れない。こんなもの俺の頭が自らの手で仲間を殺めた時、
Oh fuck! The darkness will take over.
覚醒する。 END を倒せるのは陛下ではない。ジュビア。
グレイ。ダメ。グレイ様を傷つけるくらいならジュビアはこの命を絶つ。
Fuck. But it won't happen. This is fairy tale. I'm not gonna be sad. She's not gonna die. She's not gonna die! No, if they didn't take Gajil away, they won't take Juvia. So, let's talk about the episode. It started with a little recap of where we are, or maybe more like how we got to where we are. At first, I didn't really think I needed a recap, but when I watched it play before me, I kind of realized that this is really, really the final season, and we've actually come a long way. It's been, what, this was episode 29? It's been 29 weeks. I don't know about you, but for me that feels pretty insane, and I can't believe that we're more than halfway through, and time is gonna fly by, so we really need to appreciate every episode as it passes by. About this episode as a whole, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. I'm finally back to that place where I usually am with fairy tale, where I just kind of soak in the characters and the story and how it's being told. I'm sure that those of you that do watch my reactions every week, you saw that I wasn't in a very good place in the last, maybe not the last reaction, but the two before that. It's been a little bit of a bumpy road. I think I was not only shaken by the whole Gajil thing, I guess people's comments sometimes just get to me, how people hate on fairy tale all the time, and then it gets to a point where you're so disillusioned with the haters, and it's like it gives you a bad taste in your mouth about the anime, and that's not even really what was bothering me. It was more just, I don't know, people talking shit, and I'm so over that. I think I should put a warning on my channel. If you talk shit about fairy tale, I will ban you. For me, there's definitely a difference between sharing your critique of an episode, whether you were like you loved it or not. I just feel like there are so many people watching fairy tale or coming onto fairy tale reactions that hate it. Like, why even waste your time, your energy, and your breath? But I'm not going to talk about that because I don't want to waste my time, my energy, or my breath. Today I'm talking about episode 306, also episode 29 of the final season. I quickly want to say a few words on the intro song. This is the first time that I could actually enjoy the intro song. First, I didn't want to even listen to it because it was almost like it was too feel good, and like it was this very hype song, and I was like I said, disillusioned with the whole Gajil thing, the fans, and then the last episode, the intro had Irene attacking Mira Jane, and then I didn't want to listen to the song. So this was my first time actually listening to the song properly, and I have to say that I really love it. I think it's not my favorite, it's not as good as the last one in my personal opinion, but I would listen to this in like my everyday life. This is like, it's so pumping, it's so exciting, and it's good. The song is really good, the lyrics are great. It's a very fairy tale song opening, if that makes sense. What I want to do in the future, maybe after the season is done, I want to rewatch all the fairy tale openings, all the fairy tale endings, and I just want to make a list of maybe my favorite to least favorite ones. It might take some time, but I think like fairy tale songs have such a great feel to it. It makes you feel like, it's made me feel like over the last 2 years of watching fairy tale, because that's how long I've been a fan, and how long I tried to catch up with everything amidst other things in my life that was also going on. So yeah, when I think of fairy tale songs, it gives me a feeling of strength. It gives me a feeling of being a part of something magical, and it makes me believe in, I don't know, friendship. It really, I know that sounds so silly, but the songs and remind me of fairy tale, and fairy tale, when I think about fairy tale, literally literally it's paused here right now. It says, I have friends who will fight by my side, and I just paused there randomly, and that's the image I see in front of me right now. I'll show you. It's paused here, and honestly, this is fairy tale for me. I'm not an outgoing person. I don't have a lot of friends in real life. I have one person I'd actually call my friend, and then my boyfriend, and the only other person I ever spend time with is every now and again when I have the time, I'll go say hi to my mom. But I'm really not the kind of person that has friends, except these days online I've been making so many friends, so many of you on my Discord, people that join my live streams often. I can call a lot of you friends because I finally believe in friendship. I used to think people are only friends because, you know, they find themselves in the same class. They happen not to like the same guy, but the moment you like the same person, then suddenly friendship goes out the window, stuff like that. I was very cynical about friendship, and especially with as I'm growing up. I'm not 19 anymore, so after high school you realize like most of your friends were only friends with you because you were stuck in the same class. Like you kind of have to be friends, and even then the friendships were very watered down because the smallest thing can disrupt your friendship and then you're left with nothing. Now that I'm like in my 20s, a lot of my friends, or people that used to be my friends in high school, they're all getting married. They're all on Facebook posting pictures of their fucking kids and their this and that. Like they're living their lives, and I've never felt a part of that. I've never felt like that's my path, and it's fine for them. But growing up and distancing myself from what my friends at the time and my family has told me, like that's how your life should look, I've distanced myself so much, and I've been hurt before, and I'm sure I've hurt others, and yeah, I didn't believe in friendship. I know it sounds so fucking cliche, so almost sad, like, oh, poor little girl, but watching Fairy Tail for the past 2 years, I've realized like we all want companionship. We do. It doesn't matter if I tell myself, oh, I'm an introvert, I'm fine being by myself. It doesn't have to be a physical person that spends every day with you, but we all want companionship, and I've realized over the last 2 years that I'm allowed to want a guild. I'm allowed to want people that relate to who I am and what I do. And Fairy Tail makes me so happy because now I do have people in my life, and I can actually say, oh my gosh, I have a best friend again. I have people that I want to spend time with. I want to live stream and talk to you guys. You may not be here physically, but I'm just so happy that I've opened myself up to that possibility. Let me just put it that way. And it's so silly to talk about something like this over an opening, but Fairy Tail openings make me feel that way. I realized talking about it right now that I've really changed as a person because of Fairy Tail. Just with how I think about people and relationships and what I allow into my life. And it's just amazing to think how, you know, the different guilds, like they find their own people, and even the guilds can, you know, they can fight sometimes they get along. Even in guilds, sometimes you fight, but you're still a family. And it doesn't have to be blood related. Erza's mom has just fucking said in this episode, kill her fucking daughter. Sometimes your parents suck, but sometimes they make up for it even. Guildarts and Kana, for example. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're blood family or not. You have your friends. And that's why Fairy Tail's amazing. And that's the message of Fairy Tail. And honestly, people who complain about the power of friendship, the whole message of Fairy Tail, it just fucking went over your head. That's the point. Friendship makes you stronger. That is why Natsu wins. Natsu's magic is fueled by his emotion, whether that is hate, whether that is love. I've explained it before. When you're fighting for someone, you can fight so much harder, so much longer, because you don't want to give up, because giving up on yourself is easy, but you don't want to give up on others. You don't want to let people hurt the people you love, and you can just push so much further when it's for people you love, and that is, we're stronger together. That is the message of Fairy Tail. At least one of the very strong messages that I get from it. Thank you for listening to my fucking rant. I'm such a weirdo. Like, why does Fairy Tail make me think of these things? But now let's talk about the actual review. it started with Guildarts. It ended last week with Guildarts being there, and now we got some fight scenes with Guildarts in this episode. Pretty badass with his headbutt and his punches, and Guildarts is just a badass. He's not necessarily like my favorite character because he doesn't pop up a lot, but I'm not that attached to him, so it was cool to see him, but I didn't need any more from him than they gave. The reason I'm pointing this out is because I saw a lot of people in the comments say, or a few people in the comments say, they wanted to see more from Guildarts. And for me, for someone that's not necessarily the biggest Guildarts fan, although I can appreciate him as a character, it was enough. I loved the scenes with him and Kana. I love his dad's side, and then his badass side comes out. And what I especially loved from the first half of the episode was Romeo, and kind of seeing his vulnerability, his fear. And then Wendy says, she said something like, Dakara. These subtitles, as you can see here, Wendy said, we're all scared, we need to stay strong together. I personally don't think it was the best translation, because she said, Dakara gambare nana. Basically, how I felt it should have been translated is, and that's, we're all scared, and that's why we have to do our best together. So it may be that this is the right translation, and I'm just using my own translation to make it more sense for me. But for me, we're all scared, and that's why. Because I think Dakara means like, and that's why, like, that's why. Gambare. She said gambare. I'm pretty sure of it. Let me just no, I'm not even going to double check. I know she said gambare. Gambar. I don't know how to say it. And I think that means do your best, do our best. And that's why we need to do our best together. I think that's a better translation, and I feel more attached to those words. I feel more emotionally stirred by those words. And it's fine that the translation isn't perfect. Maybe it is perfect and I'm the one translating it different in my mind, but at least I understand a few Japanese words from all the anime that I've watched. And when she said that, her words, even though the translation didn't say the same thing, her words like stirred something inside of me, and it was just so beautiful then to see Natsu say, Susume, forward, like follow me, and then they all ran, and it was Gray and Juvia and Natsu, and then Romeo behind them, standing there, and then smiles, like he it looks so dark, and then he smiles. And I remember saying, even if it's fake, smile, push through, run, because when you fake a smile, when you're scared, and you just fake it till you make it, you know? I'm not saying act happy when you're actually sad, but when you're scared of a challenge, act tough, act like you can do this, smile, push a smile, and just tell yourself you believe in yourself, even if you don't. At least for a moment, let yourself feel what it could feel like to believe in yourself, you know? There is a fine balance between knowing when you should be sad and be scared and allow yourself that feeling, and then there's moments when you should just push through and fake it till you make it. It's a fine line. There's no perfect science knowing when is the right time to do which one. But for me, when I can, I'll fake a smile. When I can, I'll act tough and tell myself that I believe in myself, even when I think something's impossible, because if I think that I can't, it's already impossible. But if I think that I can, then the likelihood of it happening and of me being able to do it and push through is 100 times more than it would be if I didn't even try, you know? And yeah, that whole scene, let me just see if I can find it. This whole scene, like, look at them, like, these visuals are just so, look at those faces, happy, screaming with his little bird paws. Wendy running with determination, Charlotte, Erza, everyone we love, Juvia, and here he stands scared. You can see he's afraid, and then he smiles and he starts running, and look at this visual. But there's another one, wait. this one, I mean, it's just like, push through, let's go, and then they run, and it's just, I really love this whole scene. It was beautiful. And then this guy, the Winter Wizard. He's actually pretty badass as a character, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I'm rooting for the good guys. And I like what he said about darkness doesn't distinguish between good or evil. It's like this kind of a power. But that's the exact thing that evil would say. So I'm not letting it fool me, but it sounded pretty cool. Let me just set my chair up a bit. I feel like I'm sitting really low. There we go. That's better. One other thing that I wanted to mention was Zeref and his sympathy for Mavis. I'd like to see more of that. I'd like to see more of them, to be honest. I am a little bit worried. What did it mean when Irene said, let me just quickly find what she said. You'll never beat Acnologia if you remain this merciful. He is the apex of darkness, the true dragon king. So to me, this sounds like, here, let me show you guys. To me, this sounds like how Inval said, darkness doesn't distinguish between good and evil. But I mean, Acnologia is clearly evil. He wants to kill all the dragon slayers. He wants to kill all humans. Because that's why some dragons taught people dragon slayer magic, is because other dragons didn't value human lives. And that wasn't right. Although, you can't really, how do you say, it's hard to argue with that because, I mean, we kill animals because we have our reasons. We breed chickens and pigs and stuff to eat. So, why? Because we're on the top of the food chain and we have to, you know, because it's natural. So isn't it kind of natural for dragons to eat people if they're so much higher on the food chain than us? But maybe they did it to the point of where humans were about to be extinct, and in the same way that even we realized that we shouldn't like whales. I don't know, people protect whales because they're getting hunted. Oh, let me talk about an example that's more relevant to what I know. A lot of people have been hunting rhinos in South Africa to the point where they're almost extinct, and now people are protecting them and all that kind of stuff. So maybe the dragons were unnecessarily cruel. Maybe the dragons hunted us to the point of us being humans. Hunted people to the point of extinction, and that's why some dragons rose up and said, well, that's not fair, these humans need to be able to fight back, in the same way that, you know, we have societies or corporations or whatever that protects animals and animal rights. I guess those dragons would be like Greenpeace that taught humans dragon slayer magic so that humans can defend themselves and. Anyway, so Acnologia, the true dragon king, he is the apex of darkness. So what I'm wondering is if this Zeref's country was established to fight, like, they are darkness, but how else are you going to defeat Acnologia? Maybe their only way was to become the darkness, to become stronger than the strongest darkness. So I'm wondering, like, because August believes in Zeref. August is not an idiot. Why does he believe in Zeref so much? Is it because he believes Zeref is the only one that can save the world from Acnologia? Or is their whole purpose maybe not necessarily, like, they do want to save humanity? I'm not really sure, because I know that Zeref also hates humanity, and I don't know. I'm a little bit confused as to the story, but only because there's so much going on. You're so focused on the characters and their individual storylines and these different arcs that sometimes you forget that what the golden thread through the story is. And what is that, or the most important part is, there was a time when dragons were overpowering humans, and Acnologia is a dragon slayer who defeated so many dragons, he became a dragon himself, and now he wants to defeat all the dragon slayers because he wants to be the ultimate dragon. I don't know. Okay. Zeref's storyline is that he wanted to bring his little brother back to life, and then he fucked with the laws of nature, and then it became so that he could never die. And now he created E&D to try and kill himself. So there we have Acnologia, and now we have Zeref. Mavis, we've seen Fairy Tail's origins. And that's how these three things come together. There are three independent storylines, and now these three things come together, and it could be that Zeref and them, his country, they want to defeat Acnologia, but they think the only way to do so is through darkness. But Fairy Tail is mixed up in all of this because Fairy Tail is the opposite. Like, you can't really fight darkness with darkness, but they think you can. They think you need the ultimate darkness to defeat the ultimate darkness. But how do you dispel the darkness? You turn on the light. And Fairy Tail is that. Fairy Tail is the light. And it's so beautiful and poetic that Mavis and Zeref found each other, you know, but now she has the most powerful magic, and now Zeref wants to use it, but now Irene has to get it out of her, and it's just And now Inval doesn't want Zeref to have to fight Acnologia. He thinks Grey can defeat it, and that's possible because Grey has the power to defeat E&D. Like, honestly, I need to rewatch this whole fucking series and make notes and skip the filler because filler makes me forget the important stuff. But the story of Fairy Tail is actually amazing, and I want to kick some people on the ass when they say that the creator. A lot of people say about the creator and how he's not a good writer and da 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 da. And just because you don't understand, like, it doesn't make him a bad writer. A lot of fucking stories have seeming inconsistencies or whatever. Like, Marvel. If you look at the Marvel movies, they are so amazing, so fucking popular, and yet still people will find fault with this. There's a plot hole there. There's a, like, you can pick at things and pick it apart as much as you want, but that doesn't take away from the creator of Fairy Tail's talent and power. The story is really so good, and as a person who's only watched it once, and I didn't watch it, I watched it more like an anime that I just want to enjoy. But now that I'm here at the end, I'm looking back and I'm thinking, this story is actually so amazing, and I didn't pay enough attention. Cause now I don't remember all the stuff that's important that could help me figure out the shit now, and I'm sad that I didn't get to watch this 10 times already. But no problem. I'm reading the manga, so I as soon as the anime ends, I'll just keep reading the manga, and I think it'll all be. I don't think manga has fillers. Like, anime has fillers because they give the manga time to, like, get created, right? So yeah, I can't wait to keep reading the manga. On top of this amazing fucking story, we have these amazing fucking characters. And whether it's the good guys, the bad guys, they're all... Oh, and how... Now that I'm looking at this, now in this episode, Grey was like, he was never playing the good guy. And now he might be the one that has to defeat Natsu, E&D, and E&D is Natsu. Like, if you look back at the start of Fairy Tail now and who they were then and who they've become, because they weren't very close, Natsu and Grey. They hated each other, fire and ice. They fought all the time. Erza had to force them to get along. And now they've become such great teammates. And now he might have to be the one that destroys Natsu, that destroys E&D. That the story is actually amazing, and I can't explain it because if I was more knowledgeable about the story, if I paid more attention during my watching of Fairy Tail, and if I had skipped the fillers, I think I would have been able to explain that better, why the story is so good. But one day maybe I will be able to. Right now, I can just tell you that I feel it. I feel the greatness of the story. I feel the greatness of these characters, and I love what Fairy Tail has taught me. I'm curious to know why Brandish decided to take Natsu and Lucy. She's like on the fence now. She's not a good guy, she's not a bad guy. Because she was the one who saved Mira Jane. Thank you, Matty, for pointing that out for me. I didn't realize that's what happened. So I'm really glad you pointed that out. But all I can say is I'm really looking forward to next week to see what happens. Episode 30, and we have, I think, a total of like 50 episodes or something. So we're definitely past halfway. But yeah, I'm looking forward to every single episode after this. For me, this episode was a 5 out of 5. I loved it. I would love to hear from you guys what you liked about the episode. Any questions that you have, if you want to answer any of my questions, let me know in the comment section. Just another big thank you to Emmett Starling for sponsoring this video. I'll see you guys in next week's episode. I hope you have a great week.